somewhere between Canada and Denmark, sitting quietly in the freezing waters of the Arctic, there's a tiny, barren island called Hans Island. It's less than half a square mile in size, completely uninhabited, with no trees, no resources, nothing but rock and ice. And yet, for over 4 decades, 2 entire countries argued over who owned it, in what became one of the friendliest territorial disputes in modern history. The dispute started in the 1970s, when both Canada and Denmark, through Greenland, claimed ownership of this tiny island. Normally, international border disputes involve tension, military posturing, sometimes even conflict. But instead, this rivalry became known globally as the Whisky War. Soldiers and researchers from each country would visit the island, plant their national flag, and leave a bottle of alcohol behind. Canadians would leave Canadian whiskey, and Danish visitors would leave Danish schnapps, essentially trading friendly gifts instead of threats. For over 40 years, this tiny rock switched symbolic ownership back and forth through flags and bottles, without a single shot being fired or a formal conflict breaking out. It became almost a running joke between the two nations, a symbol of how territorial disputes don't always have to turn hostile. Finally, in 2022, both countries reached an official agreement, splitting the island almost perfectly down the middle. This resulted in something historically rare. Canada and Denmark now share a land border, even though the two countries aren't even close to each other geographically, since this tiny shared border exists entirely because of this one uninhabited island in the Arctic. What makes this story so fascinating isn't really about the island itself, since there's nothing of real strategic or economic value there. It's about how two nations chose diplomacy, humor, and patience over conflict, turning what could have been a tense dispute into a decades-long friendly tradition instead. In a world where border disputes often lead to real conflict, Hans Island stands as a strange, almost charming reminder that disagreements don't always have to end in war. Sometimes they can end with a handshake, a flag, and a shared bottle of whiskey. If quirky, lesser-known history like this interests you, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more surprising true stories, and tell me in the comments, have you ever heard of the Whisky War before this?